You know the vibes, and you know why we're here. Of course, your man Quicksilver, the Quicksilver Show, whatever you want to call it. It's not about me at all because I'm sitting next to a living legend. I'm going to give my guy his flowers while he's here. CeeLo Green.
What's okay?
How you doing,
It's
sir?
not really about you. I'm in your house.
Oh, man, stop it, man. It's not even about my house right now. I'm honored, man. I've been a fan of yours since the 90s, from Goodie Mob, when y'all first linked with Outkast, to now. To see your progression is commendable, and the fact that I feel like you've reinvented yourself over and over again just to make sure you remain relevant. Let's take it back to day one, man. For all the original Goodie Mob fans, how long have you guys been around?
I think we came in 1994.
1994?
As a part of the Outkast debut album, Southern Playlist of Cadillac Music, which is a classic.
Amazing.
You know what I mean? And then we formed Goodie Mob shortly thereafter. And then we released our debut album, Soul Food, 1995, and it's been on ever since.
And you went solo what year?
I went solo in 99 or 2000, then I think I put out that the first solo album, CeeLo Green and His Perfect Imperfections. I think that was 2001.
Gotcha.
If I'm not mistaken.
Now, I'm going to tell you what's so amazing. Like I said, you've crossed genres. Like, your fans aren't like one in particular race, one in particular age. From one of my favorite CeeLo Green records is still Call Me. Well, it's called I'll Be Around.
Right.
But we all call it Call Me.
Right.
To Crazy, to F You, to now, of course, a record that you linked up with a Washington, D.C. go-go band by the name of Red Essence called Baby Don't Go-Go.
Right.
Explain how that collaboration even come about.
Okay, well, I'm going to acknowledge the brother because he's here with us today. Michael Ice, Big Brother Ice. Yeah,
Big Brother Ice.
He put us together about 10 years ago, actually. So, like, me and White Boy from Rare Essence has been comrades.
That's
you know
my
what
guy.
like, for that
what up,
long.
White Boy?
For that long. So, shouts out to the mighty R.E., the wickedest man in the world,
you ain't
the
never
wickedest
lied.
man in the land. You
got to say R-A-R-E-E-S-S-E-S-C-E.
Okay.
Let me get that out the way.
Hey, man, get them straight, man. Get them straight. Yeah, no, but so we had discussed getting together.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And doing something formal because of the way that DC had embraced me with that record. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, I'll Be Around featuring Timbaland, produced by Timbaland.
Absolutely.
And that was like '04. So
that's still, I'm telling you, in the club, that's still your biggest to-date record.
It's a banger.
Right.
It's a banger. You know what I mean? And so, the city really embraced that record. You know what I mean? And of course, I was back and forth around that time, like it seemed like every other weekend doing shows out here. So I got a chance to really get introduced, you know what I mean, like to the culture of it. You know what I mean? Actually live in the space. You know what I mean? So going to the go-go's and just and you know what I mean, like, and I got immersed in it, man. So like I fell in love with it, man. You know, and adopted it as my own. I mean, like, I embraced it, it embraced me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the feeling is mutual. You know what I mean? Like, and here we are some years later, you know what I mean? Like, finally getting the opportunity to do it formally, you know? So, yeah, so to make a long story short, man, we've been talking about getting together and doing a record for this long, man.
Right.
We've had this record for about several years.
Wow. So this record didn't just come about the last few months or so.
Nah, it didn't, man. Like, because, of course, I wanted to, to honor, you know what I mean? Like, and pay homage and respect, but it needed to be authenticated. I mean,
Absolutely.
so, I had to make it real. I mean, like, so I know how sacred go-go is to the city. You feel me?
They're going to like it or hate it.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly. And so we went back and forth with a couple of different versions of the record, man. Like, until we got the one that we felt like, okay, we can move with this. So some years later, it's a trip how things happen, though, man.
Right.
I'm glad that people get a chance to bear witness to the backstory of it.
Absolutely.
And they can see how, how special things are. But we held on to it, though, man.
Is your goal to, like, do a whole album like this? Or, like, what's the goal? Is this one single? Or we one and done?
Well, how it came about, man, I performed the record, late last year. On the Soul Train Awards.
Gotcha.
And it just went up from there. You know what I mean? Like, so I got a lot of, inquiries on the record. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of dialogue and debates. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like, we like the record, but it ain't real. It ain't real go-go. You know what I'm saying? Like this, that, or the third. Yeah, other people coming back and defending, be like, nah, CeeLo Green been fucking around with go-go for a long time. I happen to know. I was there personally when he was rocking with the Backyard in '04. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Come on,
so
shout
like,
Big G.
You feel me? So a lot of the conversation was good, bad, and different, but it was all constructive. You know what I mean? Like, and so it kind of like prompted me to say, you know what? let's make it a project. You know what I mean? Like, let's make it a movement. And I went back in and I just kind of repurposed a couple of records that were just kind of dormant. You know what I mean? Like, and just archived. I'm like, this would work. This could kind of work if we do this to it. Blah 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 blah. And that's kind of how it came about, man. And then with Ice again, them said like, I said, yo, Ice, I want you to be project manager, being that he's from the city, native.
Absolutely.
That's
like, my guy, by the way. What up, Ice?
Yeah. I'm like, man, get me in touch with everybody. Get me in the room with everybody I need to go and see. You know what I mean? So we already had the relationship with RE. So I went and met. Reacquainted with the backyard, got junkyard. Shouts out to Slim.
Slim, what up? Right.
JY. Bella Donna.
Absolutely.
And the only people that we didn't get a chance to work with as of yet is EU. So shouts out to Sugar Bear, because they definitely on deck, ready to do whatever is necessary.
That's the OG, man. When it comes to go-go, I mean, of course you have Chuck Brown,
right?
But then you got Sugar Bear and Big G right now. I tell everybody, Big G is definitely a living legend as well.
Right.
Once again, if you just tuning in, we hanging out talking to the legendary CeeLo Green. Now, when it comes to accolades, I feel like a lot of people don't realize how award-winning you are. A lot of times we mention certain artists about, he has a Grammy, she has a Grammy, but you have 5?
I got 6 now.
Let me.
I got 6 now.
Talk your stuff. I apologize.
Yeah, no, I definitely got the 5.
So you have 6 Grammys.
Yeah, I got another Grammy. And I don't have the physical one yet. But the way that it goes is like, if you're part of a Grammy winning project, then you get a Grammy. So
absolutely.
Tyler, the Creator's Igor, won a Grammy last year.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, I was part of that project, and so was my son. My son engineered my vocals. He recorded it and engineered me, because we recorded the stuff during the pandemic. You know what I mean? So shouts out to him. Shouts out to Young Kingston. So he got his first Grammy, man. You know what I mean?
Congratulations, man, to your son, and congratulations to you. A lot of people are chasing 1.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're at 6, once again, that's why I said I want to give you your flowers while you're here, because I feel like you should be celebrated, man. I feel like CeeLo Green is one of those artists that's super respected in the industry. But sometimes if somebody asks, like, from when it comes to Atlanta, who's your top 5? And I feel like some people don't say CeeLo, and they need to say CeeLo.
Yeah, because a lot of the times it's specific. A lot of the times it's like, who's your top 5 or top 10 MCs?
Right. I got you.
And I guess, I don't know, maybe I haven't stayed in one place long enough. You know what I mean? Like,
you sing one day, then you rap the next day, then you sing and rap at the same time.
But I do what feel good to me. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? But nah, definitely though, man. Like, I've done a mighty thing, man.
You're definitely
and
willing.
Give thanks.
And you're willing.
Humbly, I say.
Humbly, but you're willing to be celebrated, man. That's why we're celebrating you, of course. The single, "Baby Don't Go Go," is available now on all streaming platforms.
Indeed.
Make sure you stream that. Now, speaking of the pandemic, I'm not gonna say we're post-pandemic, because we're still in the pandemic, but things are starting to get a little more reopened, and people are a little more comfortable now being back outside without the mask on. What's one thing that the pandemic really taught CeeLo Green?
We got closer as a family and as a unit. You know what I mean? Like, and had those building conversations of just like, talking tactically and strategically. You know what I mean? Because like, when we were blindsided with the ordeal, it was just like, wow, like this is really happening. You know what I mean? And it was reminiscent of things, that I had been privy to, and having read, years prior. You know what I mean? Like, and that's kind of like what prompted the last Goodie Mob album too. Shouts out to the Mob, Survival Kit, because we were all kind of just discussing with each other, like, what do you think this is? How long do you think it would, it's going to last?
We all thought it was 2 weeks. That's what I thought.
Right, exactly. It ends up being a year and some change. We're still in it. You know what I mean?
Still in it.
So it was just one of those things where, you go back to the simpler times. You refer back to those things that are priceless. You know what I mean? Like the people in your life. You know what I mean? Laughter, sunshine, food, family. You know what I mean? Like, prayer, meditation. Exercise. You know what I mean? Like, and just basically a plight. You know what I mean? Like to a self-improvement. You know what I mean? So fortunately for me, we have a country property in Atlanta.
Gotcha.
We're a little bit outside, about an hour outside of Atlanta, so I have a ranch property out there.
Okay.
You know, but I live in Miami primarily. But
As you should.
fortunately, when the
Never
shit
mad at
hit,
that, though.
yeah,
Right.
when it hit, we was in Atlanta.
Gotcha.
So we was able to be secluded on the land. You know, walk the property, get that energy, get that sunlight. You know, get that movement and circulation going. You know what I mean? And then we did shit like, you know, that we hadn't done in years, man. Sit around at the big table and eat, you know, play Uno, you know,
Right.
you know, all kind of old school, you know, it was so, but then even in that, you still find the empathy for those who are less fortunate.
Absolutely,
so like,
absolutely.
it just, you know, I got in touch with my humanity, my humility, mortality, all these different things. It's just like, yo, man, like, I don't know how serious this is going to be. You know what I mean?
Man, I don't think any of us thought it'd be this serious. At least in my lifetime, I've never been a part of something that literally shut down the world.
Right.
Like the economy shut down. That's never like. And I've read about things that happened in the 30s and 40s, but in my lifetime, I've never thought that something would come and literally shut down the globe.
Right, man. People were coming to us for advice, you know, because, you know, the song Cell Therapy, you know what I mean, that launched the Goodie Mob, you know, it was so relevant and the song just came alive like a prophecy fulfilled.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I was getting a lot of DMs and a lot of inquiries like, oh, big homie, like, man, like, what's this about? Like, what we supposed to do? How we supposed to move? I'm like, man, you know, I ain't even have all the answers because it was just surreal. I'm like, so what it did do is level the playing ground. You feel me? So I just felt like I'm like, yo, as far as my family is concerned, I'm jumping in front of the bullets. You know what I'm saying? So I just felt like that. You know what I mean? I just wanted to be a hero for my family. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm sure your family is proud. The same way all your fans and supporters are proud of CeeLo Green. Will we ever get another Goodie Mob album? Is there any hope for that?
Well, the last one that we put out is independent. I mean, like, you know, it's called Survival Kit. We did put it out through the pandemic, but sometimes, you know, well, because of the circumstance, it kind of flew underneath the radar, and it was independent, so it didn't really have the
machine behind it.
The machine behind it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But it's a good body of work. It's a solid body of work, produced entirely by Organized Noise.
Nice.
So we assembled the dream team back together, which we hadn't done in years. I mean, like since those first albums.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, it felt good to be back with the brothers. You know what I mean? Like, and we was able to just kind of like convey those conversations that we were having in private,
Gotcha.
and put them into the music, you know. So yeah, that's what that was about. And we talk about it all the time, you know, maybe because it was really well received for those who were, you know, who were aware of it,
right.
You know, and we talk about it all the time. And I just think we could just do it casually, you know. But we definitely had a moment. It was more eventful to do an album then, you know. So like, you know, hopefully it won't take something else as, you know what I mean,
you're right.
you know, as, you know, tumultuous, you know what I'm saying, you know, if you will, to bring us back together. But I do think, you know, we need to be prompted in a certain kind of way to do Goodie Mob music, you know what I mean?
What is your biggest charting record? Like, I don't even know. Is it FU or is it Crazy?
I think I mean, Crazy and FU could probably run neck and neck, but, you know, Crazy is the one that ran away with all of the accolades, man. Crazy has a Guinness World Record, you know.
Of what?
Well, it was the one song played on more formats than any other record in American history. You know, Crazy was played on talk radio, if that makes any sense.
Right, Jesus. I couldn't imagine what your publishing checks look like on Crazy, man. You got to be a billionaire off of Crazy alone.
Shit, look, I always say this, man, like, you know, I was rich before taxes, man.
Right.
You
Oh,
know,
man.
I'm rich before taxes, man. Now I'm just fortunate, man. You know what I mean?
Tell me about it. Like, I think Hov at the line said we pay more in taxes than some people make a year.
Exactly.
Which is it is what it is. We're not
If
gonna talk
anybody
about
know,
that.
Hov
Right?
know, yeah.
But once again, man, CeeLo Green, man, congratulations on all the amazing success over the last few decades.
Yes, sir.
Like, it's not that many artists you can say over the last few, not years, but decades. You've been putting out music, you've been putting out projects, you've been winning Grammys, you've been reinventing yourself. Like I said, you went from CeeLo Goodie Mob to CeeLo rapper to CeeLo singer to CeeLo opera to, like, I'm like, yo,
television.
To television. Like, what's next for CeeLo Green?
Man, we were talking about this yesterday, actually, and I said, man, you know, before, so I've gotten to a point to where music can kind of be, it's still passionate for me. I still love it, and I still love the people, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, even more. So, you know, I just want to be a contributing factor, you know what I'm saying, like a beacon of light, man, like, you know, to shine for what's possible, you know what I'm saying, you know, and what we could do if we apply ourselves, man. So, like, I do consider myself an ambassador of black, you know, entertainment, black excellence, industry, and all things, you know. So, with that being said, man, I can really do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and that's kind of the American dream at the end of the day, man. Like, you know, the American dream has been able to afford to say no. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
it's nothing like being able to do what you want
have your options.
And be able to now walk away from anything when you feel like it.
Facts.
Because you're not doing something because you need a paycheck today.
Absolutely. So it ain't even about that, man. It's just about culture, man. Like, and being a part of it, man. Still love it, still good at it, man. Still got a lot to offer, a lot of love left, man. So it is what it is, man. Like, I might just pop up and want to do, you know, an all rap album next month. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? And, you know, me being a free agent again, which is great. I mean, I got the flexibility to do it. I mean, like, I'm not bound by anything or anyone. So I could just kind of do whatever I feel. And that feels great.
What's so dope about you, CeeLo Green, is that you've been around since the Atlanta sound has been relevant. I remember when Atlanta sound came out with yourself, Goodie Mob, Outkast, and all of us East Coast folk were like, that's a fad, that ain't gonna last. They might get a 6-month run.
Right.
It's now been 20 years and Atlanta is still top of hip hop. Like, how does that make you feel as a person who's been around since the birth of it to now see when everybody, I'm sure you knew it would last, but now to see 20 plus years later, if you look at the top 10 list, 7 of them are probably from Atlanta or based to have that Atlanta sound.
Well, things that you love, you know what I'm saying, and appreciate tend to last longer, but then also, you know, it has to be something that's built to last. And I felt like we were the first family of the South, the first family of Atlanta, to be more specific. You know, you had other, you know, collectives. You know, we got to acknowledge, you know, Luke Skywalker and what he did in Miami. And we got to acknowledge Jay Prince and what he did in Houston. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But as far as we're concerned, you know, we just wanted to represent the best interests, you know what I mean, like of the city, you know what I mean, with, you know, with that, the spirit of competition, not really competitively though, you know what I mean, like, we were just trying to be counted, we're just trying to coexist, you know what I mean, like, you know.
That's what he said. I remember Big Boy saying, we just want to be heard.
Yeah, that's it.
We just want to be heard,
That's really all that it was about, you know what I mean, but, you know, you don't always get the immediate, you know, acknowledgement from those, like, you know, it's a lot of love, respect, you know, reverence, something like when we're seeing, you know, but I see a lot of what we did, I could see it in the art form of the generations that came after us. You know, I could see it in J. Cole, I could see it in Kendrick, you know what I mean, I could see it in Young Thug, I could see it in Gunna, you know, I could see it, I'm like, Future is actually, that's Baby Bro, you know what I mean, like, you know, so what he did to the culture and what he did for the culture, you know, I'm just glad that the generations after us, you know, were able to adopt it, adopt the ideal. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that you could succeed at being yourself, be unique, be original, be daring, be dangerous. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like, you know, so I'm glad that we was able to do that. I'm glad that we was able to be, you know, interchangeable, mutatable, you know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? And adaptable, you know what I mean, like, to the situation at hand, and people learn those tricks of the trade. And now you got yourself a record run. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? 20 years and counting. You know, keep changing the game, keep innovating, and keep creating, man. So, like, you know, so that's one thing I want DC, you know what I mean, like, to be able to, like, you know, identify with me. Like, you know, we share alike where I'm from, you know what I mean? And, you know, no different than, you know, the nations, you know, in the world at this point was able to, you know, identify with and adopt trap music, whatever like that. So it's like, all right, so
now it's go-go.
Now it's go-go.
Come on, man. Bring it on home,
now
man.
It's go-go.
Baby Don't Go-Go. It's available right now.
We got to bring it back to that,
CeeLo Green featured Rare Essence, the wickedest band alive. Once again, it's available on all streaming platforms. I requested on not just the Quicksilver Show, but on all the radio stations, because I don't want this to be a DC record. I think a lot of times when go-go happens, you think DC.
Right.
This record is worldly. This record is worldly, so I need all my DJs out there that's watching and listening. Give it a shot, man. Like, you know, let's make this record do what it's supposed to do.
If I can't take it to the world, I've done it in injustice. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I ain't here to waste nobody's time.
Well, facts.
On my own.
Well, say less, CeeLo Green. Thank you so much for stopping by, man. Of course, for all your supporters, I never call people fans. I always say supporters. For your supporters over the last few decades that are watching, listening right now, if you could say one thing to them, what would CeeLo Green say?
I love you. I appreciate you. You know what I mean? And there's much more to come. You know what I mean? Thank you for letting me be myself again. Yeah.
And that don't make him crazy. I had to get that up out of the way. Hey, get that Baby Don't Go-Go right now. I'm putting a Quicksilver stamp on it. Salute.